Good evening and welcome to Tarbo Pavilion on the campus of Swarthmore College, where the Swarthmore Garnet take on the Washington College Shoremen out of the Centennial Conference. It's the first conference matchup of the season. Bob Long, Billy Evers alongside, and we're excited to bring this game to you. Swarthmore Billy at 4-0 this year, off to their best start since the 1949-1950 season, and they look to tack on their fifth win this evening.
Yeah, they've been hot, but any athlete will tell you conference games are a different beast.
Starting lineups this evening first for the Washington College Shoremen. As they're announced over the loudspeaker, it'll be Joey Shelton, averaging 14 points a game. Number 14 is James Drury. He will also start, averaging just under 13. Pat Morgan, he's a 6'4" senior forward, averaging 12.3 points per game. Taz Dixon, a sophomore guard out of Ardmore, Pennsylvania. He's wearing number 24 this evening. And Dave Knox, the big center, 6'5", a bit undersized this team, but they will run out Knox as their center at 6'5". For Swarthmore on the other side, Matt Brennan, the sophomore point guard, he will start again as he has every game this season. Sam Liebrick, number 14, a junior guard out of Falls Church, Virginia. Zach Yonda, a sophomore guard, and the leading scorer on this team, averaging 15.5 points a game. Chris Bourne, a junior forward out of Monmouth Junction, New Jersey. He's 6'4", and will lead the front court, along with Robbie Walsh, the sophomore forward, 6'8", out of Summit, New Jersey. Billy, this should be an interesting game because we mentioned the undersized nature of this Washington College team. They're 1-2 on the year, coming up against a hot Garnet team that beat an undefeated Karn University in the last game and shows some very balanced scoring. Three guys, Bourne, Yonda, and Brennan, all averaging 15 points or more.
We could see an opportunity for Robbie Walsh to get himself in there as well. He's got 3 inches on the Shoremen's tallest starter.
Washington has broken the huddle. The Shoremen, dressed in the black uniform, the white trim, and the maroon numerals. Swarthmore, on the other hand, in their home whites, the black trim, and the maroon letters. It will be Dave Knox, number 33, to tip off against the 6'8", Robbie Walsh. We are underway, tip one by Walsh and the Garnet. It's Matt Brennan. Yonda flashes, top of the key. Brennan looks to set up the offense, 14 to shoot. Walsh gets it now beyond the three-point line. Liebrick gets an open look, top of the key, bank is good. 3-0 Garnet early. Now the Shoremen to the baseline. Pat Morgan, he finds James Drury, averaging almost 13 a game, and he hits 3 right there.
Tough shot with Liebrick in his face, but he gets it to go.
Liebrick gets doubled, finds Brennan, extra pass to Yonda. He knocks down the 3 from elbow extended. 3 for 3 from the floor thus far combined. 6-3 Garnet early.
This is a Washington College team that shoots the 3 well.
They thought about another one, instead driving into the lane, tries to fire hard against the glass. Shelton with the miss, Garnet with the rebound. Brennan up the floor, beating the defense, up and off the glass, underhanded with the right. A quick timeout. Washington College needs to talk things over, just a lack of hustle by those guys getting back on defense. Head coach for Washington College is Aaron Goodman. It's his first season with the club, formerly coaching under Ed DeChellis at Navy. DeChellis, a guy that has been all over college basketball. He had been at Penn State in the past and then had moved to Navy a few years back where he remains. And Goodman the beneficiary of that opportunity and now his first head coaching gig. This is Taz Dixon, number 24, sophomore guard up the floor. Morgan dishes inside. Ball is tipped on the ensuing pass. Good hands by Liebrick. Pat Morgan to inbound from the sideline. They do find Dixon. Good pass inside. The head fake, not able to finish. Walsh initially got a hand on it, but the scramble for it eventually comes in the hands of Zach Yonda. Nice effort there from the Garnet.
You don't see Zach Yonda give up too many balls like that. He's a gamer.
Now Yonda takes the pass top of the key. Liebrick looks inside for Bourne. Floats it up with the right hand. That one's short, gets his own rebound, follows it home off the glass. 10-3 Garnet early. Dixon hands off for Drury. Drury from the elbow, in and out, no good. Yonda with an athletic rebound. Brennan has a 1-on-4, elects to bring it back, and now it's Yonda who settles by the baseline. Tried to send through to Robbie Walsh, went off a thigh. Here comes the Shoreman the other way. Open look from three is good. Pat Morgan.
Morgan shooting 42% from three this year.
It's an impressive total. Not a guy the Garnet wants to leave open. 15 to shoot. Liebrick having some trouble getting rid of it. Now finds Brennan. Good entry pass to Bourne. He'll get it right back. Knocks down the three. Nothing but net from the top of the key for Matt Brennan. 13-6, the Garnet lead. Corner three. That is long. Rebound. Knocked out of bounds. That's last touched by Dave Knox. And the possession will go back to the Garnet of Swarthmore. First look we had, Billy, at Joey Shelton, who took that three. An impressive size for the sophomore guard at 6'3", very athletic, and their leading scorer at 14 points a game. Just a bit long on that three.
Looks like a full line change here from the Garnet. We've got 4 subs in.
Wholesale substitutions indeed. The only one to stay on the floor, number 20, Zach Yonda. Now this is Shane Leffler. Lammers head fakes, instead dishes inside. That's a good look. In and out that time from Andrew Kaufman, but the rebound down to Sean Thaxter. They'll reset, now 22 to shoot. Kaufman gets it back inside, may have slid the feet, goes up with the right hand, and the hook shot is good in the lane. Back down the floor quickly. Spinning to the left, up and off the glass is good. Peter Chasio.
Yeah, and he's 6'7". He'll have an advantage over Thaxter in there.
Showed it there, established position early. Now Lammers had a look from the top of the key, gave it up. Inside, once again, it's good. Working through Andrew Kaufman right now, the Garnet offense.
Kaufman making a living from the free throw line right now.
Kevin McCormick, top of the key now. Drury gets into the lane. A little bit of a circus shot and a good rebound that time from Kaufman. Not a lot of numbers for Leffler. Continues to push anyway. Pass deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Kevin McCormick. McCormick, a reserve for this team, Billy, but averaging over 10 points a game, and more impressively, almost 65% from beyond the three-point line, taking about 5 threes a game. So not for nothing there.
Got to be excited. McCormick as well. Grew up in Springfield, right down the road.
Opportunity for a homecoming for him. Bourne gets doubled inside, finds Liebrick, top of the key three. It's good. Garnet are on fire from behind the arc.
Yeah, they're saying to Washington early, if you want to make this a shootout, we'll shoot right with you.
Spinning into the lane, an individual move, ran right into traffic. Shelton was blocked by Bourne. Now Brennan takes a screen from Bourne. Top of the key three, it's good. Nothing but net. How about this start from the Garnet? Goodman needs a timeout. And the Swarthmore bench lets the team know they appreciate the effort so far. 23-8 the score. The 4-0 Garnet putting an early stamp on this one, and now it's going to be Washington that's going to need to find answers early, down by 15, just over 5 minutes into this one.
And it's interesting, we said at the beginning of this game the advantage they were going to have was size, but they haven't needed it.
23-8 the score, 14:22 to play. Timeout for the Shoremen of Washington College. We mentioned this team for the Garnet, their best start in over 50 years, and that balance we talked about at the beginning, Matt Brennan, certainly Zach Yonda and Chris Bourne, all above 15 points. But Billy, it's been a different cast of characters here this evening. You're seeing a guy like Andrew Kaufman, number 42, have a big day early, and other guys getting shots. Liebrick hitting a couple of threes. It's been an impressive effort and a good sign moving forward. I mean, you look at these stats, it is early in the season though, and there's a lot of development opportunities for the depth of this team, and this has been a good start on that regard.
Yeah, this is a team who only graduated one senior. They're seeing a lot of youngish players who had experience to play last year, and they're coming into their own here.
Back to action now. Brandon Berry, the new substitute, brings the ball up the floor. This is Clay Smith, number 4. Berry works off a screen, finds Smith for 3, no good. A nice rebound and up and off the glass with the left hand, Joey Shelton.
Just outside the wingspan of Walsh.
Lammers has a 3. Just off, Walsh with a big rebound, up and off the glass with the left hand, it's good. A good rebound that time, and good to not go over the back, Billy. That was very close, but he really kept the arms up to avoid that foul call. Brandon Berry now. They find their leading scorer, McCormick. 9 to shoot. Berry into the lane and glides well off the glass. Liebrick thought about going right to the rim, instead does the prudent thing and pulls it back out, sets up the offense. Bourne gets it right at the foul line. Lammers with the head fake, instead back inside, but it's deflected away and out of bounds. Last touched by Aaron Geswelm. First we've seen of Geswelm. He is 6'7" and a freshman out of Moncton, Maryland. Adds some size to this front court for the Shoremen.
The Shoremen do have 3 6'7" forwards on the bench, just waiting if they find they do need that size.
6 seconds to shoot. They're going to need to get a look. They find Bourne inside, a great look, can't finish. Walsh with the rebound, but it's stolen away immediately. Now Clay Smith, an open 3. That one's good.
Great shot after the scrappy play on the other end by Clay.
A high-scoring game in this one early, back to just a 10-point lead for the Garnet that looked to run away with it early. Lammers with the head fake. Brennan takes the 3, unable to answer, and the rebound down to Brian Shapiro, hustling well to the corner. Taz Dixon looking to cut the deficit to single figures. It's Clay Smith, can't hit that one, and not a lot of Shoremen rebounding. Shoremen don't want to get to 3 happy at this point. They've hit a few to get themselves back into it, but still want to run the offense if you're Aaron Goodman, the head coach. 13 to shoot as Liebrick receives the pass. A great job to get the ball into Bourne. That's too easy. All the work done ahead of time by Chris Bourne.
He's so strong in there. If you give him that position, you have no chance.
Clay Smith, number 4. 17 to shoot. He's guarded by Jim Lammers. Chasio comes to the foul line. Looked like he wanted the shot. A dangerous pass nearly stolen by Brennan. And 3 substitutions come for each side. And add a 4th to that. Henry Cosino coming into the game for the Swarthmore Garnet, replacing Sam Lieber, in addition to Andrew Kaufman and Sean Thaxter, as well as Shane Leffler. 9 to shoot after the inbound. It's inbounded to Dixon. Good look inside. Double teamed. No good on the shot. That came off the hands of Pat Morgan. Henry Cosino with his first touch of the night. Andrew Kaufman finds now Zach Yonda, who head faked. Yonda gets it back, elbow extended. Leffler for 3 from the same spot. That's short, barely grazed iron, and the rebound down to James Drury. Baseline move, a foul will be called against Andrew Kaufman. Wasn't expecting Dave Knox to take it so aggressively down the baseline and was beaten on that play. Not a bad foul for the first of the game for the Garnet. Fresh 30 now for the Shoremen of Washington College. Brian Shapiro will set up the offense, as well as Taz Dixon. Dixon on the handoff, into the lane, guarded well by Leffler. Knocked out of bounds, last touched by the guard, the senior for the Garnet. .15 to shoot, a 12-point lead for the Garnet. Dixon underneath the basket. There was a slip by Thaxter. Leads to an opportunity inside. Might have gotten fouled on his way there.
Looked like there could have been some contact, but the refs have called this game very loose thus far.
They
Only
have
one
indeed.
foul.
Absolutely right, Billy. Henry Cosino inside to Thaxter. He's double teamed and passing to a man who wasn't looking. Leffler was rolling back out past the 3-point line. Thaxter thought he was cutting to the rim. Turnover for the Garnet, and a couple more substitutions will come in on both sides. Coming out of the game, the junior guard for the Washington College Shoremen, Brian Shapiro. Drury goes baseline, guarded by Liebrick, I should say, both wearing number 14 this evening. A long 3 for the Shoremen is good. That's Kevin McCormick at a clip of 65% this year from 3.
Right over the outstretched hand of Zach Yonda.
Now Yonda has it in his hands. Bourne gets the entry pass. Liebrick will go baseline. Controls the body well, can't finish. Walsh with the rebound, up and off the glass with the right hand. He's a lot to deal with inside right now. Drury, guarded by Liebrick. Spinning in the lane, a nice move, up and off the glass with the left hand. Dave Knox showing some theatrics and some body control.
Great
little next play thrown away. My apologies, Billy. A turnover there for Swarthmore.
That was a great little scoop from Knox. If you're going to get past Walsh, you got to get his feet moving.
And Billy, you made a great point there, because that's a way to start to offset the size differential. Go right at the body of the shot blocker, make one move, and then go around him at that point. Going down on the play, an really unfortunate slip that time. Pat Morgan went down, and perhaps a bit of shoe or towel might be the best application on that spot on the floor right now.
Looks like Brennan's got it covered.
Sophomore guard Matt Brennan, the the point guard up the floor. Coming off a screen, forcing a double team. Liebrick tries to get it back. It goes out of bounds. The last touch by Liebrick. He's not pleased with the call. But some good defensive pressure. We talked with the coaching staff of Swarthmore before the game, and they mentioned that this Washington College team likes to do some traps, not necessarily full court, but in some of their defensive sets. Now it's Knox, probably traveled, but no call. Three is back iron, no good, and the rebound down to Taz Dixon. Billy, a couple guys slipping early on this floor. Long three. That barely drew iron and may not have even drawn iron, but Drury got it back and traveled on his way to the basket.
Yeah, he's not pleased about that call, but I didn't think any of the defenders moved. They had their feet set.
Bit of a loss of body control.
There's Bourne taking care of some of the moisture we were mentioning.
And it'll be Matt Brennan. It's a 9-point game, under 8 minutes to play. Garnet started out absolutely hitting just about every shot they've taken. Slowed down a little bit, so they established back inside, and the left-handed finish, Chris Bourne.
That's a powerful move. He can go up that way with both hands. It's so dangerous.
Now Drury. This is McCormick rolling off a screen. The rebound down to Taz Dixon after the long three. Taz Dixon, bit of dipsy-do, up and off the glass, it's good. The hesitation move, the body control, and the finish.
So quick off the dribble there from Dixon.
And now he will go to the line. An opportunity to make this an old-fashioned three-point play. Dixon in and out. Yonda nearly stolen in the backcourt, but was able to keep the ball. Brennan thought about the three, guarded tightly by Dixon. Yonda with 12 to shoot. Robbie Walsh now has it. 6 to shoot as Chris Bourne has it from the outside. Yonda's gonna need to launch. Off-balance shot, no good. Nearly got his own rebound, but the rebound is down to number 22, Kevin McCormick. McCormick, a quick three. In and out, no good. Billy's got that quick release, though. You gotta be on top of him.
No fear from the freshman. He came to play.
Bourne inside, draws a triple team, spins right out of it. Off the glass with the left hand. It's a great play from Bourne. Nobody guarding to the baseline. And another impressive move, this time from Joey Shelton on the Shoreman side, drawing the foul against big number 44, Robbie Walsh.
Yeah, Shoreman will definitely want to get Shelton more involved. He is their leading scorer. And if they're going to get back in this game, they're going to need some contributions from him.
You see the shiftiness as Shelton makes his first. The jump stop that took him from about 12 feet away straight on to the strong side block. That's an impressive move. (33-23). Swarthmore leading by 10. Jumped out to a very quick 23-8 lead. Washington College has begun the process of coming back. Swarthmore looking to finish the half quickly. It's Cosino nearly traveling with it. Matt Brennan looks inside for Bourne. They look for the hot hand, but he gets double teamed. And Brennan fumbles it. Shelton on the cross-court pass has to pull it back. But that's where McCormick is for three, and he knocks it down.
It was only a matter of time if they were going to keep giving him looks from that area.
The trailer got the good look as the Swarthmore defense crashed back. Bourne Flashing, cannot finish off the glass. That was a feigned screen and then just diving to the hoop. A good find from Brennan. 2 upcoming for Bourne from the line.
Yeah, good move from Bourne there to get Geschwom off his feet, go right up into him.
First foul against Geschwom. That's the 3rd foul of the half. Bourne in and out on the first. 7-point lead as Matt Brennan comes out of the game for a quick break, and Shane Leffler will come in his place. Bourne's second free throw finds a way down. Billy, in the last game against Karn University, it was a closer game toward the end. And when the time came to foul, every opportunity where Bourne touched the basketball, they went and fouled him. But he went and made a lot of those free throws, put that game away. He went 1 of 2 on that last opportunity. And it's Kevin McCormick hitting the mid-range shot on the other end. Jim Lammers with the head fake. 15 seconds to shoot. They're extending the matchup zone here. They find Leffler. Good move inside. Kaufman might have gotten blocked on the way up. And the rebound initially down to Washington College, nearly given away, but salvaged after all. McCormick from the foul line. That's well short. He short-armed that one. Tried to get rid of it too quickly. Kaufman for 3. No good. Long rebound deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Robbie Walsh. And possession with 4:36 to play goes back to Washington College. Billy, it's been a slow but systemic run back into this game from the Shoremen. It's now just a 6-point lead for Swarthmore after it was 15 about 5 to 7 minutes into this basketball game.
Almost sneaky, but they're getting those short-range jump shots from their guards. We need some stepping out from the Garnet.
Big block from Robbie Walsh.
That's what he does so well in there.
Leffler going up strong with the left hand, taking a little bit of a bump near the 3-point line, staying with it.
Didn't even bother to set up the offense. He went right to the rim.
Swarthmore in the man-to-man. McCormick. Shot from the mid-range, call it 10 feet, is up and in for Joey Shelton. 36-30, under 4 minutes to play, first half. Liebrick, baseline 3, back iron, no good. Foul will be called against Dave Knox, number 33, who palms to the sky, can't believe it. Swarthmore will now have the opportunity to inbound underneath the basket. That's Knox's first foul of the half.
Knox is a force in there. He's only 6'5", so maybe a bit undersized, but he is their leading rebounder with over 6 a game.
Starter, the guy who takes the tips, and Swarthmore had some trouble getting that back in. Knox has had his hands full, though, guarding Bourne, who now has the ball top of the key. Sam Liebrick gets to the baseline. That's a hand check called against number 14, James Drury. That's something that's much more of an emphasis in college basketball, Billy, especially this year, as the freedom of movement is so much more emphasized in the college game.
Slippery little move from Liebrick to draw it.
And that time it's Robbie Walsh drawing a foul, this time against Aaron Geschwom. Second foul now of the half from Geschwom. Brennan gets blocked from the three-point attempt, but it's knocked out of bounds. There were 2 Shoremen right there. Knox and Drury
Perhaps a failure to communicate from the Shoremen there, but they give the Garnet a second chance here.
Brennan to inbound underneath the basket. 36-30 the score. 3:25 to play first half. Swarthmore sets up in the box here. 2 men on the blocks, 2 men on the elbows. Yonda gets the inbounds pass. Now Brennan on the baseline. The double comes on Walsh. Slips out of it and gets the pass up top. Yonda, no good with the 3.
Wide open shot for Zach Yonda there. He just couldn't get it to fall.
And it's a great look for the Swarthmore Garnet. You'll take that every time. Robbie Walsh drawing double teams, as has Chris Bourne. Will open some opportunities from 3. Now Knox, bit of a crazy shot.
Tough shot there, falling away with a hand in his face.
Not the look that Goodman is looking for. Garnet worked the ball around. Yet to get the ball inside the 3-point stripe. And now it's Robbie Walsh. He draws a double team again. Spins past it though. Too strong off the glass. Bourne with the rebound. New shot clock. Bourne up top for Yonda. He'll try it again. That one just a bit short and tipped around until Drury has it. Shelton pulls up from the elbow for 2. Knocks it down.
Slowly but surely, Shelton is leaving his mark on this game.
Coach Landry Kosmalski will take a timeout and talk things over. Bill, your thoughts on this first half? Like we said, a 23-8 run to start it off. And Washington College has come back into this game. I don't think that Swarthmore is settling for 3s. They're doing a really nice job of moving the ball inside. Bourne and Walsh have been really good down there. But it's been the adjustment from Washington College. They're saying, make your perimeter guys beat us. We're going to double your big guys.
Yeah, they have. They've doubled Walsh every time he gets the ball, and they've just played the averages. They knew SWAT couldn't bomb in 3s constantly like that forever. Had to come back down to earth at some point.
After the quick timeout, the Garnet back on the floor. Looking to add on to their 4-point lead as we play with 126 seconds before the first half break. Double comes against Bourne, dribbles out of it well. 14 to shoot. The intensity being ratcheted up by the defense of Washington College, forcing a turnover. Shelton thought about the 3. Barry Shelton now just inside the 3-point line. Cannot get the bank to fall. 1:30 to play, first half. Walsh stripped. Knocked into the backcourt, no problem. No backcourt there as Brennan comes back to help out. Bourne rolls, fights through a double team. Walsh on the weak side block, might have shuffled the feet. Aaron Goodman agrees with me, but Walsh finishes with the left hand. Walsh stands up tall. Pat Morgan, Shelton. Drury gets through 2 defenders. Nice kick out to Shelton. 9 to shoot as Drury jump stops in the lane. Left hand, cannot get it to fall. You wonder if that'll have an impact on this game as Yonda thought about trying to give the Garnet a 9-point lead. But that ball that just rolls off.
Yeah, an ambitious look from Drury, and he almost got it to fall.
11 to shoot, 13-second differential between game and shot clock, and a turnover from the Garnet. Shot clock is turned off. Shelton nearly turns it over. Ball is knocked out of bounds after the scrum. It's knocked out by Robbie Walsh. And with 10 seconds left on the game clock here in the first half, Washington College, they've earned themselves a second life on this possession. Unbelievable that Shelton, after fumbling that ball, was somehow able to stay with it enough to at least get rid of it and lead to the ball being knocked out of bounds by Walsh. Matt Brennan called for the grab. Nowhere near the bonus. Both teams only with 4 fouls committed. That's the second, though, for Brennan. And a tough one for the Garnet to take. He'll be coming out in the second half, not necessarily in foul trouble, but needing to be careful with 2 fouls.
Keep an eye on Morgan here inbounding the ball, but he shoots the 3 very well.
Knox leads off for Drury. Good look, Clay Smith from 3, knocks it down. It's just a 3-point lead. Clay Smith with the shot in the dying moments of the first half. Cuts Washington's deficit to only 3. At the half, Swarthmore 38, Washington College 35. We'll take a break. Bob Long, Billy Evers here on the call. We'll be back for the second half.
Hi, I'm Emily Gale and I'm the captain of the women's soccer team. So I'm majoring in chemistry, and one of my favorite classes I've taken was actually a computer science class called Artificial Intelligence. Definitely planning on pursuing a PhD in biochemistry and then probably working in industry like a biotech company or maybe pharmaceuticals or something like that. 2 summers ago I had an internship where I was working on a biomedical engineering project at WashU in St. Louis through this program called the Amgen program. And that was a really neat experience. I got to spend 10 weeks in St. Louis, living in their dorms, experiencing the city. And I learned a lot. That's kind of when I decided I want to go to grad school for that sort of thing. So outside of the soccer team, I'm an RA here at Swarthmore, so both juniors year and right now, I'm an RA, and I've also been a tour guide, as well as helping to tutor and be a lab TA for the chemistry department. And also in the spring, I work with the group Top Soccer volunteer organization. I think being a captain really involves making sure everyone's on the same page and everyone's getting any resources they need. Also kind of being a liaison between the players and the coaches. It can be tough with such a big team, so to make sure everyone feels like they have a voice and just making sure that everyone's doing well on and off the field with school and social life and that sort of thing, so we can just keep progressing as the season goes on. So I've been playing soccer since U5, way back when. And I think probably my favorite thing about playing soccer is just that it's always fun for me. I wouldn't still be doing it if it weren't that way. So at least here at Swarthmore, it's just such a nice break from the classroom. I know that I'm going to come hang out with 32 of my closest friends every day after school, and it always cheers me up. Even though I was hurt a lot of last season, I would definitely have to say on the field, winning conferences last year, coming back and redeeming ourselves, beating a lot of the teams in playoffs that have beat us in the regular season. And just the moment we won in PKs was just like, I don't know, one of the best moments ever.
I'm Alec McLean, I'm a captain of the men's soccer team. I love soccer in particular. I mean, I always grew up with it. It wasn't really a choice. Like, I was going to love soccer growing up in England. And I think it's the most exciting game. It's the people's game. Everyone can play soccer. It's a really easy game to start up. I've done a bit of traveling. I went to study abroad in Australia, and the sort of love of soccer is exactly the same all around the world. You can play it with all sorts of people, play it with anyone really, which is one of my favorite aspects of soccer. I came over to the US between my junior and senior years to do the recruiting camps, and I did one at Swarthmore. I did the college ID camp here, and I played for Coach Wagner's team. And he was a great coach, and I really enjoyed the camp, and he asked me if I wanted to come play soccer here. And I actually didn't know anything about Swarthmore before I came to the ID camp. You know, I talked to a few people. My mum's from the States, and I asked her about it, and she said this is like one of the best schools in the country. You've got to take this seriously and apply. So I did. I got in, and now I'm here. I'm a double major in mathematics and economics, and one of my favorite courses I've taken is the real analysis course in the math department with Professor Grinstead. I really enjoyed that class for a few reasons. I think it was really interesting, very elegant math, and it was just really high level stuff, and it was really interesting to have a professor who was so brilliant as Professor Grinstead. I think I want to start at least working in consulting. I'd like to do a 2-year analyst job at one of the really nice consulting firms in the Northeast. One of my main extracurricular activities is I run an investment fund with a few friends. We started it up last fall, and it's sort of a practice for business after Swarthmore, but it's also really interesting in and of itself, just to sort of get involved in the market and things like that. And that takes up a lot of my time. I'm a big Chelsea fan. I think I went to my first game when I was 4. I want to say 4. I watched, we lost 2-0 to Leicester City. I still remember it. Yeah, I've been a fan ever since. I really enjoy going to the games whenever I'm home. Favorite player, Didier Drogba. I mean, he doesn't play for Chelsea anymore, but he's a club legend. For me, being a captain of the men's soccer team is about a few things. It's about playing well and performing on the field, you know, doing your job as a player, first and foremost. Secondly, it's about trying to motivate those around you and help them through whatever struggles they might be having on and off the field. And then finally, it's about keeping a dialogue between the coaching staff and the players. My favorite memory, honestly, is not really from on the field. I think there's a lot of them, but there's been some really great times just being part of the family that is the Swarthmore men's soccer team. Really, you spend a lot of meals with the same group of guys, but every single one of them is usually pretty hilarious. And I think they all sort of conflate into one big memory, but just all of the memories of having incredible fun times with those guys is probably my favorite memory.
My name's Erin Gluck, and I'm captain of the field hockey team. I am studying both math and computer science, so double major. They're very practical, but also math kind of gives me like a unique way of looking at all other disciplines, so I like that analysis technique. I think that I'd like to work in some kind of technology field, doing either development or possibly analysis of some kind. One thing on campus that's during the spring I do is the VITA tax volunteer. So we help people of lower income do their taxes. Also, my family's just big into community service. I kind of grew up with that my whole life, and we do a lot of community service in the optical field, like giving glasses to people that can't afford to get eye tests or can't afford glasses. So I think as a captain, it's important to lead by example. So, you know, you kind of set the tone for practice, warm-ups, games, everything, and it's really important your intensity and how you, because people are looking up to you. So you got this whole team and you can kind of set the tone. So my favorite things about playing field hockey, well, I just like being on a team, like the team atmosphere, and I like playing team sports, and it's kind of funny. The team was a big
help for me, at least my freshman year, like knowing everyone and having that support system, I would say, because it's a support system on and off the field. So yeah, and it's also it's fun. Oh, well, my favorite moment always is going to be that game freshman year in overtime. It was against Gettysburg, and we won. Nia, who's like another player that was on the team, and I had this like really good give and go that scored that final goal in overtime. So that was my highlight.
Hi, I'm Anastasia White-Terwillius, and I'm a captain of the volleyball team. I'm a math and economics double major here at SWAT, and I think one of the most interesting classes that I've taken here is actually a computer science class. I take those classes for fun on the side. Yeah, so I took a natural language processing class with Rich Wissentowski, and he's a really cool professor, and that's his area of research, and so he's really passionate about the subject, which made it a really fun class to take for me. Last year and the year before, I was a math pirate, which is like the TA for a math class, but we call them pirates because of the symbol pi. It's a pun. Yeah. I interned my freshman and sophomore years interning at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab, and I think I learned a lot about just kind of defense contracting, and I worked in the Air and Missile Defense Department, so that was cool. I worked mostly with like tracking missiles, and it's interesting. And then last summer I actually interned at Bank of America as a sales and trading intern, which was kind of the opposite. At Johns Hopkins I used a lot of my math and comp sci background, and at Bank of America I actually used all three, but it was great to use my economics background as well. I've actually accepted a job offer at Bank of America for next year. Going off of that, I'd also like to pursue some kind of graduate school, maybe a couple of years down the line. I think one of the greatest games that I was a part of was my freshman year. We beat Eastern at the very beginning of our season, and that was really huge for us because they were a nationally ranked team, and it ended up carrying over, and we got some votes to be nationally ranked as well, which was the first time I think we had ever gotten that. And just seeing our program and like the success of our program and us being able to do that was really great. I think my most favorite memory happened last season. We kind of pulled a prank on our coach during our preseason, and that was just kind of like a really great way of incorporating like the freshmen and getting everyone kind of up to speed, and it kind of brought us together as a team as well. I studied abroad at University College London. I was an affiliate student in their economics department, and I really liked London, but I think the program that I went on really made me appreciate why I chose Swarthmore to begin with. I think what's great about Swarthmore is I chose it for the small community and the collaborative environment. And UCL is a huge campus with, I think, like 20,000 students. And so going to the library, you probably won't see someone that you'll recognize. So I really missed that when I went abroad. But I think the best part, the most fun I had was just kind of exploring London and then also exploring Europe. I got to take a field trip class in London, and each week we met at a different location in London and explored the architecture in the area, which I think was really cool. And it kind of gave you a different perspective when you're looking at London. And when my friends came to visit me, I was able to like throw things in here and there that I probably wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
Welcome back to Tarbell Pavilion on the campus of Swarthmore College, where the Garnet of Swarthmore lead the Shoremen of Washington College in a Centennial Conference matchup, the opener for both these teams, 38 for the Garnet, 35 for the Shoremen. Bob Long, Billy Evers alongside, and it was a torrid start for the Swarthmore Garnet, up 23-8 almost before you blinked. Still a very good shooting half, 16 of 30 from the floor, good for 53% for the Garnet. 5 of 13 from 3, that's just under 40%. And for Washington College, it was more in the second half of this first half. And 14 for 33 from the floor, still a respectable 42%. And then from 3, 6 of 13, one better on that same number attempted compared with Swarthmore. That's 46%. Billy, your thoughts on what this Swarthmore team is going to need to do in the second half to thwart some of the momentum that the Shoremen begun in that second period of that first half?
Well, it's always dangerous to let a team claw their way back into it, and I think it starts with stepping to guys like Shelton and McCormick, guys who have that quick release on the medium range jumper. They're getting those looks that they want right now. We got to take them away.
Shoremen now start with the ball slow to get into their offensive set. They trail by 3. Taz Dixon dribbling into the lane. Up top to Knox for 3. No good. The rebound knocked off the leg of Liebrich, but Bourne is right there. Matt Brennan, number 10. He had 5 in the first half. Off to Liebrich. Robbie Walsh with 12 to shoot. Zach Yonda finds Brennan. Good look from 3. It's good. Make it 8 for Matt Brennan as he tacks on 3 more, and it's a 6-point lead for the Garnet.
And a good dish from Yonda, who was uncharacteristically quiet in the first half.
And a turnover comes at the hands of number 24, Taz Dixon. He was shielded toward the end line well without being fouled and just lost it out of bounds. Leading scorer in the first half for the Garnet, 9 points for Chris Bourne on 4 of 6 shooting from the field and 1 of 2 from the line.
We just saw Brennan taking a towel to the floor there. It's been a humid day. We've seen guys slipping, towels being needed.
41-35 the score. Yonda gets into the lane. He's blocked on his way up. Finishes, though, without coming back down to the ground. A great finish from Zach Yonda.
An unbelievable feat of athleticism from Yonda there.
Shelton tries one of his own. Is blocked, though, from Walsh. Ran into a brick wall. Robbie Walsh has a bit of a look for Shelton as he gets up.
Yeah, not only is Walsh tall, his arms are so long. Really tough to get that shot over the top of him, particularly falling away.
It's an 8-point lead for the Garnet. Drury comes off a screen, launches a 3. That's quick. And the rebound is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Shoreman and number 21, Pat Morgan.
Seen a couple of hectic shots from Drury right now. Searching for answers. I think he needs to settle down, find his game.
No reason to panic. Only an 8-point game, just like he said, Billy. Plenty of time for this Washington College team. Yonda for 3 from the corner. That's just a bit short, and the rebound down to Drury. Taz Dixon. That looked like a double dribble from here, and Landry Kosmalski may certainly agree over there behind the bench. Taz Dixon. Morgan had trouble with the pass. Got it off to Knox, and he traveled on his way into the lane. Couple shakes of the heads on the last 2 possessions from the Washington College players. Both turnovers. Brennan thought about Robbie Walsh inside. Washington College has turned to a zone for this possession. Brennan gets into the lane. Good look for Bourne, who finishes the floater with the right at the rim.
Yeah, it's a great pass from Brennan. He got himself into a dangerous area, had his head up. Saw that a mile away.
A double-digit lead for the Garnet. Drury cuts into it with a 3. And a timeout called by Washington College before the ball was inbounded, a 30-second timeout. And that's a big three, Billy. I know it's certainly early in the second half here, 17 minutes and 10 seconds left, but Swarthmore taking that lead back to 10 points after Washington College worked so hard to get it back to 3 before the half. That's big for this Shoreman team to cut back into that.
Yeah, he must have heard what I had just said about him. That's a calm, confident jumper from Drury.
Top of the key look, and Drury having a nice game. Swarthmore will break the huddle now. Bourne with that last bucket into double figures for the game, 11 points. And has been a thorn in the side of this Shoreman team all afternoon long here. He has drawn double teams and found some open looks. Bourne now off the floor though as Walsh gets the pass inside and fouled on his way up. Fouled by Pat Morgan, he'll go to the line for 2. A crazy pass there, it came from Thaxter, bounced so high off the floor and a bit off Walsh's hands as well. It went off the bottom of the backboard right back to Walsh, right in the breadbasket where he was able to go up and got fouled in the process.
Well, if you're gonna bounce a pass high to one of your teammates, you want it to be a guy the size of Robbie Walsh.
Walsh at 6'8", knocks down the first free throw. Into the game comes the leading scorer on the season for Washington College. That's Joey Shelton. Shelton had 7 in the first half. Walsh's second is up and good. It's a 9-point lead for the Garnet. Taz Dixon now the point guard. Morgan. Drury, a healthy 3, back iron no good. Lammers. It's gonna be a jump ball. How about that effort from Jim Lammers? Nearly got his head taken off in the process and is still down on the floor.
Yeah, he hit the ground hard there.
It might be that right arm and maybe was twisted back as he was going after it. Now the trainer attending to him, it appears as if it's more the left shoulder, Billy.
From the way he fell, I was afraid it might have been the head on impact, but it looks like you're right, the twisting of that shoulder.
Jim Lammers, a sophomore guard out of San Antonio, Texas. Went to Alamo Heights High School. Has found himself a very nice role on this Garnet team, Billy. He's been a guy that will often come in off the bench but give some really quality minutes, can knock down a jumper as well.
He has hit some big threes for this team early in the year.
Lammers being helped up. You don't see a lot of motion out of that left arm, and you certainly hope that it's just a stinger and he's able to come back quickly. Lammers with that hustle effort, certainly a bit of a casualty in the process, but earned the Swarthmore Garnet the possession on the alternating possession that came with the jump ball. It's a winning play right there, and you certainly hope that Lammers can get back on the floor quickly. .37 to play. Second half, a 9-point lead for the Garnet. Matchup zone as Thaxter gets the ball. Up to Liebrich. The 3 is no good, and the rebound down to Taz Dixon. Doesn't have a lot of numbers. Goes right at Liebrich. Up and off the glass, a bit too strong. Rebound down to Knox, and now the alternating possession will give it to the Shoremen. Scrappy game here on both sides. You don't need to tell these teams that it's the first game of Centennial Conference play in what both teams hope is a big year for them.
A lot of gritty hustle plays, but not too many fouls, so guys are working hard, but nothing dirty.
And now an offensive foul called against Pat Morgan.
That's a brave play from Leffler there.
The home opener here for the Centennial Conference, the Swarthmore Garnet, they lead by 9. They went on the road and beat Ursinus, so they are 1-0 in the Centennial Conference. This is Washington's first game, and as we mentioned, Swarthmore's first home conference game here in the Centennial. Shane Leffler came into the game, and an offensive foul, a moving screen. I believe that's going to be called against Andrew Kaufman, and indeed it is. Tried to free up Chris Bourne on the near side block. Yonda found him, but called back first.
Kaufman had a big offensive first half, but he's got to be careful here. He's found himself in foul trouble a few times this year.
Kaufman had 7 points in just 4 minutes of action. And now it's McCormick. He hit a couple threes himself. Second leading scorer in the first half. Good inside move that time to establish position, but Knox couldn't finish.
And a towering rebound from Yonda.
Yonda goes down, just slipped once again. We've seen that a bunch of times this evening. Extra pass, Taz Dixon gets blocked on his way up. Chris Bourne, he stood his ground.
Great disciplined defense from Bourne not to bite on the fake.
Sam Liebrick now finds Shane Leffler. Yonda hasn't actively hunted his shot, very similar to what we saw in the Karn game. Inside, great position from Bourne, an easy finish, but all the work done ahead of time. McCormick. This is Knox. Knox gets inside, off balance, somehow flips it up and off the glass. Yonda able to keep it in bounds, but turned it over to Dixon. It's one-on-one. Dixon gets hacked on his way up. Dixon asking for a flagrant one. Won't be called. It'll only be 2 at the line. A hard foul that time from Shane Leffler. Leffler's first of the game. Swarthmore's first foul of the half. Again, they only committed 4 in the first half, as did Washington College. 3 for Washington College here in the second half. Taz Dixon. Not that traditional end-over-end spin you like, Billy, so not getting the friendly roll on that first free throw. Dixon, a sophomore guard out of Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Second free throw is good. And he will be replaced by Brandon Berry, a freshman out of Lorton, Virginia. 8-point lead for the Garnet, 14 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Trying to advance to 2-0 and get their first home conference win of the 2015-2016 campaign. Henry Cosino. Inside to Robbie Walsh, double team comes late. Stays with the ball, gets stripped again. That's great defense from Shelton. Gabe Sarabelli. Shelton has it baseline guarded by Cosino. Slips by Cosino, gets fouled on his way to the rim. I believe it was by Cosino before Robbie Walsh came in for the foul. And it is indeed. I think that's important for this Swarthmore team. Want to keep Robbie Walsh on the floor. First foul of the game for Henry Cosino. Shelton's first. Rattles off the back iron, no good. Shelton's second, rims in and out all the way around the cylinder, and Walsh with the rebound.
Tight games are won and lost at the free throw line, and Washington has missed a few now. They may regret that later on.
On the comeback effort, couldn't agree more, Billy. Andrew Kaufman Brennan with 10 to shoot. Finds Henry Cosino. Spins wildly into the lane. Can't find the backdoor cutter. It's going to have to be Liebrick who gets it inside to Robbie Walsh. Off the glass and good. They utilized the entire 30-second shot clock, never panicked, and got the good look at the end. Three from the top of the key. That one's close. Going down in the process was Brian Shapiro, but that was short. Opportunity now for the Garnet. Cosino. Liebrick spins, gets into the lane, finds Kaufman, who had a look from three. He deferred. Walsh, good hands to get that pass and stay with it. Up and off the glass with the left hand.
Another strong left-handed finish from Walsh. And the Garnet are really benefiting from having bigs who aren't afraid to handle the ball. You'll see their big guys float to the top of the key, handle the ball up top, really mix things up.
Long three is good. Gabe Sarabelli, his first three of the night.
Solid few feet behind the arc. That was a long, deep three.
Cosino wide open from three. He answers. It's a 12-point lead now for the Garnet.
The Garnet have done that beautifully today. Every time the Shoremen hit a big shot, they have an answer.
No answer this time from Sarabelli as he launched the long three. Brennan quickly up the floor. Had some trouble with the handle, now finds Walsh to Liebrick. Inside to Walsh. He fires and finishes again with the left hand. Put him in the books with double figures. 10 points, 8 here in the second half.
Walsh is seeing double teams and he's just not bothered.
Kaufman will be whistled for the foul on the hand check against Joey Shelton. Wholesale substitutions. The entire lineup, I should say, for Washington College. Get a fresh five out there. It's like a line change in hockey here, Billy.
And that's the third for Kaufman, so he'll step off. Want to keep him in the back pocket, make sure he stays in the game.
Now we have a whistle. Third foul, like you said, on Kaufman, in not a lot of minutes. He will probably sit a few minutes. Robbie Walsh keeping things going on the front court in a big way. Smith, a little short on the mid-range shot, and Cosino nearly tackles Aaron Geschwelm. That'll be the fifth foul against the Swarthmore Garnet and the second against number 35, the freshman guard out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, Henry Cosino.
Yeah, just an awkward looking fall there.
Morgan on driving into the lane will be fouled by Chris Bourne. Fouls starting to rack up here. Already 6 fouls against the Garnet with 11:21 to play in the second half. The next foul of the loose ball or offensive variety will be foul shots, and we'll see that right now.
Yeah, a lot of fouls here, particularly in a game where in the first half at this point we hadn't seen any.
And like we said, with Washington College on the offensive, the defensive foul against Swarthmore will send Pat Morgan to the line. Third leading scorer on this team, and knocks down the first, earns his second. Something to watch here, Billy. Yonda and Geschwelm got into it a little bit after that free throw. Arms tangled. And you see the referee lecturing the two right now just to take control of the situation before anything further would happen.
Looks like smiles on faces over there, but don't be fooled. Yonda's a fiery guy.
Yonda will take it right to the rim. Up and off the glass, counted and one. Foul against Aaron Geschwelm. Yonda beat him down the floor and was able to finish off the glass.
Driving like a man with a chip on his shoulder there.
A 15-point lead for Swarthmore. A +12 differential here in the second half. Yonda looking to take that overall lead to 16. It's been a nice answer, Billy, from the run that Washington made in the dying stages of the first half. Yonda's free throw is up and good. And it's 61-45.
You're right, and it's been no individual efforts. We've been seeing great scoring from Walsh, but it's been good play, just solid play all around. Nothing particularly beautiful, just good basketball.
Drury loves the three, cannot get it to fall, and Walsh is fouled on the way down. A strong rebound from the center for Swarthmore. Third foul on Pat Morgan, senior out of Havertown, Pennsylvania. A lot of local kids on this Shoreman team, Billy. Opportunity to come back into the area, and you see that with some of these teams in the Centennial Conference. Certainly Ursinus have opportunities to come back toward their home high schools, their hometowns. Bourne with the feed. Morgan stays with them well. With 5 to shoot, Liebrick inside to Walsh. He gets doubled. Inside to Bourne. They won't get the shot off. And only the turnover prohibits what would have been a turnover for in terms of the shot clock. And now finishing nearly at the rim, but being fouled on the play. Walsh went down as well. Was number 33, and that's Dave Knox. Shane Leffler doing the gentlemanly thing and wiping down what's surely a bit of a moist floor after 2 big men going down on that play.
We've seen the towels getting quite a bit of use here.
It'll be Knox at the line for 2. Shoreman trail by 16 in their first Centennial Conference game of the season. Leffler with a nice hand.
Getting an applause for a thorough wipe job.
You got to protect the home court, and that's not just on the scoreboard, Billy. It's a really nice venue here. Don't want anyone getting hurt. And Leffler, for his heroics, will come off the floor, replaced by Matt Brennan. Knox able to knock down 1 of 2. It's a 15-point lead for the Garnet, 10-12 to play. Thaxter thought about taking the 3. Looked inside for Yonda. Liebrick there. And that's a hand check called against number 4, Clay Smith. Referee saw it well, had a nice angle for that hand check. First team, or I should say 5th team foul, my apologies. First of the game for Clay Smith. Smith will check out. Brian Shapiro, the junior guard out of Lower Merion, Pennsylvania, will replace him.
Liebrick manning the towel now in Leffler's absence.
We're going to have minute-by-minute towel updates, it appears, in the second half.
Everyone wants a piece of the action.
Matt Brennan takes the inbound along the baseline. Thaxter looked inside, but didn't decide to throw it that way. Instead, Brennan, Bourne with a strong rebound, follows up with the left hand. A rush shot, it appeared, from Brennan, but the weak side glass was covered by Bourne.
No box out on Bourne there, and he's too strong to leave alone.
Knox. Good give and go, gets the shot from the 3, no good. And the rebound, after being tipped around, comes into the hands of Chris Bourne. Brennan thought about it from 3. Instead, inside to Thaxter. Spins away from the double team and finishes strong. I've been very impressed, Billy, by these big men of Swarthmore. They sense the double team, and it's almost always come from the court side. So they spin baseline and are able to finish.
And that's a powerful move by Thaxter up over Shelton, which is huge. If we could tire him out on the defensive end, won't be as effective in the attack.
Wholesale substitutions after the Shelton miss. And a timeout will be called at this point. 8:45 to play in this game. Swarthmore with an emphatic second half so far. They're outscoring this team 27 to 65, 46, 8:45 to play second half. And like we said, a 27-11 run, extending this lead to 19. Billy, your thoughts? What has been the difference for this Swarthmore team to take control here in the second half?
Well, we've seen their quality start to emerge on offense. They're making their shots when they were starting to miss them towards the end of the first half. But I think the defense has been a bigger aspect for me. They're stepping up. They're getting hands and faces, and Washington hasn't seen an easy shot yet today.
Washington College 1-0 on the year, or 1-2 on the year, I should say. They have not played a game here in the Centennial Conference. Swarthmore 4-0, 1-0 in the conference, and their best start since the 1949-1950 season. It's been a building effort here from Landry Kosmowski and this Swarthmore program, and they have high expectations for this season, an opportunity to start 5-0.
Shorman going small in response, but with some real shooters on the floor. McCormick, Shelton, Dixon, Drury, these guys can shoot it.
8:45 to play. 65-46 your score. Bourne, the leading scorer here for the Garnet, 15 points on the game, followed closely by Robbie Walsh, who has put 12 in this half alone, 14 overall. Henry Cosino with 20 to shoot. Inside to Robbie Walsh, gets the double, up top to Liebrick. Liebrick finds Brennan, an open three, no good. Well long that time from Brennan, and up the floor come the Shoremen. Drury, quick trigger all afternoon, instead finds inside, Walsh with a big block.
Walsh
and now Liebrick gets fouled on his way up. My apologies, Billy. He'll go to the line for two.
Walsh could see an opportunity to extend that scoring streak here with the Shoremen, really with 4 guards on the court.
Liebrick to the line to shoot 2. Liebrick's first is up and good. 7 points on the evening for him. 3 of 4 from the line. Liebrick's second is up and good, but they call a lane violation, so wipe that point off the board. A 20-point lead for the Garnet of Swarthmore at 4-0, looking to move to 5-0 and 2-0 here in the Centennial Conference. Drury nearly walked with it. Instead, a foul is called against Henry Cosino on the ensuing dribble. And upon taking the bump, it'll now be Drury to shoot 1-1. Cosino's third foul of the game. He'll be replaced by Zach Yonda. One and one is short, and a foul will be called against number 11, Joey Shelton, over the back. And that will be a 1-and-1 opportunity due to the loose ball variety of that foul. 7th foul of the half for Washington College. Bourne 7 of 9 from the line today. Bourne earns his second. He knocked down some big free throws at the end of the game against Karn University, and now is 8 of 10 tonight. Bourne able to hit the second, nothing but net.
Yeah, like you said, other coaches are giving him the ball in big spots, thinking that the free throws are a weakness of his, but he's proved them wrong.
Long three now. McCormick, no good. Bourne with a big man's rebound. Liebrick thought about the three from the baseline, had some room. Instead, finds Bourne with a great slip. The one pump fake, up and easy with the left hand. Swarthmore starting to run away with this one. A 24-point lead, 7:17 to play. Morgan up top to Shelton. Drury lost it in his own hands, finds McCormick. Back iron no good, Yonda with the rebound. Under 7 minutes to play. They feed inside to Walsh. Double team late getting there. He draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot two. And Billy Aaron Goodman not going to be happy there. They've been committing double teams right away. That one came far too late, and it was Walsh taking advantage.
Yeah, it was a crafty inbound pass from Brennan, and I'm not sure the double saw it. It was low, and it was hidden behind the back of another defender.
Walsh's first free throw is up and good. Swarthmore now up a quarter. Walsh to shoot one more. Second free throw, no good, but tipped up. Chris Bourne. Counted as a board and 2 points for Bourne. 73-46. Nearly stolen by Sam Liebrick. Instead, it's Clay Smith going baseline. He rises up from mid-range and knocks it down. Sam Liebrick up the floor quickly, goes down, and a blocking foul will be called against Kevin McCormick. Bourne now past 20 points this evening. He has 21 on 9 of 11 shooting.
Getting a lot of high percentage shots. He's working his way in, he's using his strength, and he's getting those layups.
For Washington, they're still looking for a guy to be in double figures. In fact, the only double figures they have, Billy, is the number of guys that have scored. 10 guys scored, not one in double digits for this Washington Shoreman club. And on the other side, it's been Bourne and Walsh all night long. 21 for Bourne, 15 for Walsh.
Just like we suggested it might be at the beginning of the game.
Earning his second free throw, Yonda was halfway down the court. But Liebrick hitting the front end of the 1-and-1. That'll be fun on tape after. The guys will give Zach Yonda a good hard time about that one.
Yeah, I saw a smile on his face there. I think he was chasing number 4 for the Shoreman down the court.
Second free throw is no good. Gabe Sarabelli finds Clay Smith. Back to Sarabelli. Had the three, decided against it. Now nearly losing the ball is Kevin McCormick. 11 to shoot. Brandon Berry comes off the screen. Clay Smith. Nearly stolen, 5 to shoot. Berry somehow gets it out. A long three is good. That one brought rain from Gabe Sarabelli.
Not sure how he even got that over the hand of Yonda. It was right in his face.
They're gonna have to build a higher roof here at the gym soon. Inside to Bourne. Good patience from Bourne to wait for things to develop. Walsh inside. Again, late with the double team. The foul is called. The arm bar against number 23, Nick Lefevre. A 24-point lead for the Garnet of Swarthmore. That's Lefevre's first foul. Walsh to the line to shoot 2. Walsh 3 of 4 from the charity stripe this evening. Walsh misses the first. 15 and 10 for Walsh tonight. A double-double for the center. Second free throw is good. Chris Bourne also with a double-double. He's got 21 and 10. Nine offensive boards for the Garnet this evening. Clay Smith will launch the 3. No good. Rebound to Zach Yonda. Doesn't have a lot of numbers, so does the prudent thing, up 24, and pulls back.
Smart stuff from Yonda there. No need to push it, no need to force anything. Keep a firm grip on this game.
Michael Rubayu. Liebrick, top of the key, and Yonda will be called for an offensive foul. A bit of a hook down low as he tried to establish possession.
Getting our first look at Rubayu for the Garnet. He's also 6'8", no shortage of size for this Garnet team.
4:54 to play, a 21-point lead for the Garnet of Swarthmore. The inside look, McCormick the extra pass. McCormick will get it right back. 17 to shoot as it comes to Gabe Sarabelli. Now Brandon Berry off the screen, skip pass. McCormick has trouble and it's stolen by Yonda. Good heads up basketball. Leffler now up the floor quickly. Sam Liebrick with 16 to shoot. Bourne trying to get position down low. They get it to him. Double team comes. And he travels with it. Slid the pivot foot. And finally for this Shoreman team, an effective double team, because other than that, these big men have had their way.
A very strong double. He had Rubayu wide open at the other side of the key, but the pressure was too strong. He couldn't even see it.
.24 game. Clay Smith with the ball. Gabe Sarabelli, top of the key. Long shot. McCormick no good. And the rebound to Thaxter. Alert play to get rid of it as he was losing his footing. Henry Cosino nearly walks with it. Matt Brennan inside to Rubayu. Rubayu travels on his way there. He got the double. Kevin McCormick came in and he shuffled the feet.
Good slide down from McCormick to lock up the hands there. Couldn't get it down for another dribble in time.
Swarthmore, an impressive 29 of 48 from the field. That's good for over 60% from the field. Almost 40% from 3.
They were very hot early on, but that's also a product of getting very, very good shots. High percentage looks deep into the lane.
Gabe Sarabelli. McCormick initially looked to set the screen, now has the ball. Gabe Smith draws the double. Good look from the baseline. Back iron no good from Peter Gold. This is now Christian Rhodes into the game for the Garnet. And a foul will be called against Clay Smith. He was trying to body up Michael Rubayu inside, and Rubayu will go to the line for 2. Shoreman in the double bonus.
Yeah, Rubayu 6'8" and Smith is 6'3". That looks like a mismatch for the Garnet.
Rubayu up and good. Second is good for Rabayu.
Two very smooth releases from the big man.
12 Garnet have played this evening. A deep bench for this team, coached by Landry Kosmolski. Clay Smith. Now Gabe Sarabelli. They get the ball inside, and the foul will be called against number 12 for Swarthmore. That's Brandon Patton, the senior out of South River, New Jersey. 2 shots upcoming for Nick Lefevre. Lefevre's first good. Certainly rotation on that basketball, but a bit short. Lefevre's second, up and good. 25-point lead for the Garnet here at home. Rhodes gets into the lane with the right hand. Couldn't get it up, but Rabayu with a strong rebound. Rhodes with the head fake. Inside to Rabayu, rewards the big man, who puts 2 more on the board. 4 quick ones for Rabayu.
Nice quick finish for Rabayu, using the body to perfection.
Now Clay Smith dribbles out of the double team in the corner. Good step through and finish by Nick Lefevre, and a better find from Clay Smith. Henry Cosino for 3. That one's long. Rebound for Rabayu. Goes up again and gets fouled on his way there. A big couple of minutes for Rabayu, the junior out of Skillman, New Jersey.
Stepping out and making an instant impact here.
Rabayu only 3 minutes here in the game. First free throw, no good. Very good efficiency, though, for 3 minutes. 2 for 3 from the line, another bucket to go along with it, a couple rebounds. Rabayu's second is good, he has 5.
Over a point a minute from him, he'll take that all day.
Look out, Chris Bourne and Zach Yonda. And now, Washington into their offense with under 2 to play. Clay Smith, a long 3, that a bit short. Rabayu with a big rebound. Now Christian Rhodes, the point guard, number 31. He'll clear traffic, head down the baseline, a good jump stop, finds Cosino, a look from 3, no good. Rebound to Sean Thaxter, who gets fouled on his way down to the turf, and he will shoot 2 from the line.
Good to see him pop right back up there, too. Looked like an awkward fall, but he appears to be just fine.
.124 to play. Swarthmore, a very impressive second half. Thaxter's first free throw up and good. 43 points from the Garnet here in the second half. But even better, like you mentioned, Billy, 19 points allowed.
Yeah, they have not given the Shoremen a sniff in this second half, stepping hard, taking away the shots they want, forcing them to come inside where they know they have the size advantage.
Sarabelli, good find inside. Up and off the glass, a bit too strong, that time from Nick Lefevre. Rebound down to Rabayu, now here's Rhodes. .60 seconds to play, and a moving screen will be called against Sean Thaxter. We'll give the basketball back to the Shoremen. Gabe Sarabelli. A long 3, that one is short, and the rebound down to Rhodes. Kevin McCormick has certainly cooled off here in the second half. Brandon Patton inside to Rabayu, up and over the defender with the left hand. He finishes.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep feeding the ball to Rabayo.
And a quick three. Bit of frustration, desperation, you name it that time from Clay Smith. A 30-point game, shot clock turned off. All Rhodes needs to do is take it across the midcourt stripe. And the Garnet have improved to 5-0 in the year, 2-0 here in the Centennial Conference. Henry Cosino, number 35, will hold it, and that'll be it. Swarthmore Garnet, 84, Washington, 54, here from Tarbell Pavilion. A very impressive second half for this Garnet team. Outscoring Washington in the second half in a big way, 46-19.
Certainly impressive, not daunted at all by the run that Washington went on at the end of the first half. Coach Kosmowski has these boys playing very well.
The Garnet now 5-0, led by two double-doubles this evening, the first of which was Chris Bourne, 9 of 11 from the field, 21 points, 10 rebounds on the evening. Robbie Walsh with 16 on 6 of 7 shooting from the floor. A very efficient night for him. He had 10 rebounds as well. On the Washington side of things, Clay Smith, their leading scorer off the bench with 8, along with Kevin McCormick, also off the bench with 8. Big night for the Garnet. Top rebounder for Washington, Drury with just 5. James Drury was averaging 12.7 a game. He was only able to score 6.
Only 7 points for Joey Shelton as well, who's averaging 14, and I believe they were all in the first half.
Garnet they just finish a bit below 60% from the field. 31 for 53 compared to 32.3% for Washington, 20 of 62. From 3, 7 of 20 for the Garnet, 9 of 31 for the Shoremen of Washington College. Free throws, 75%, 15 of 20 for Swarthmore, 35.7, 5 of 14 for Washington. And Billy, as we get ready to sign off, your takeaway from this game.
Well, the Garnets certainly look good. There was a moment of worry there in the first half. Washington seemed to be storing back, but they came out of the half and they did all the little things right. Fundamentally on defense, they were sound, they were tough. They would not be denied in the post, and I think that's where they're going to have success this year.
The Swarthmore Garnet off to their best start since 1949-1950. They're 5-0, 2-0 in the Centennial Conference, and they win this one, 84-54 over the Washington College Shoremen. Thanks to our producer, Roy Grime, our camera operators, Hannah Thompson, Kevin Anderson, and for my color commentator here, Billy Evers, I'm Bob Lung, signing off from Tarbell Pavilion.